Peace, family. This is Lions Den with another news and commentary. This article is from the Grill. Black man attacked with bike lock called the N-word days before DC rally. Before I continue this article, we're now officially on high alert because tomorrow is the start of the rally here. 1 year anniversary of the situation in Charlottesville. And right now we are in a state of emergency and on high alert because of that. So I'm going to go ahead and get this, continue this article, and then I'm going to give you the rest of my commentary. The DMV areas are already on high alert in anticipation of the 1 year anniversary of the violent Charlottesville Unite the Right rally. So much so that Virginia Governor Ralph Northam has already declared a state of emergency. That does little to comfort Katchazo Paho, a black man who says he was subjected to an unprovoked assault and barrage of racial epithets in Georgetown earlier Monday morning. Paho says he was hit in the head with a metal bicycle lock as Maxim Smith, 24, who was white, screamed at him while calling him the N-word. Now, Smith is facing possible hate crime charges. According to Paho, he was driving on his way home on Monday when he saw a man on a bicycle who had stopped in the middle of the road. Paho honked his horn. Smith in turn looked backwards and shouted, "What do you want?" As Paho tried to maneuver his car around the cyclist, Smith allegedly used his bike lock to damage the passing car. Paho called 911 and left the vehicle to inspect the damage, which is when he said Smith became more aggressive, stating, "What are you going to do, N-word?" Paho was able to grab Smith's bike to ensure he didn't get away before the police arrived, but in doing so, Smith was able to hit Paho in the head with the metal lock. The attack caused Paho to suffer from a head wound and massive blood loss. He was eventually needed 18 staples. It allegedly took responding Metro Police Department officers 30 minutes to respond. Whereupon they arrested Smith, who was arrested and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. By Thursday morning, he was released from jail and is currently out on house arrest pending trial. "What happened to me Monday is not foreign," said Paho to the New York Times.
Here in Top,
Police are not sure if Smith was in town for the Unite the Right rally in D.C., which will take place on August 12th at Lafayette Park, which will be on Sunday. It took place in Charlottesville last year. A second permit for a counter-protest has also been issued. Knowing his size, 6'4" and 260 pounds, and his race could potentially revert his victimhood, Paho intentionally took a passive role in the encounter. He is now speaking out to warn people of color to be aware of the danger of the Unite the Right rally could bring. His attorney, Lee Merritt, issued a statement. "We insist that law enforcement in the District of Columbia employ every means available to prevent further attacks by supremacists against unsuspecting citizens. Law enforcement failures to take appropriate action last year during the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville resulted in the death of Heather Heyer and violent attacks against many citizens, including the officer's client, DeAndre Harris. Every measure possible must now be taken to ensure that D.C. does not see a repeat of violence of last year. It has already begun." So I'm going to go ahead and play this video, and then I'm going to finish the rest of my commentary.
All right, I think it's working this time. What's going on Facebook? It's Lee Merritt, civil rights attorney. I'm here with my good friend, my new friend, Katchazo Paho. And I actually took a flight out to D.C. just to meet with this man and give him some advice and counsel over the course of the next couple of days, weeks, months, as we seek justice for an assault that took place just a couple of days ago.
Yes.
Not last night, but yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning, yeah, like 1:40 in the morning.
Okay. Just quickly, a little about yourself. Where are you from? What do you do?
I work in aviation manufacturing. I'm from Cameroon.
Okay.
Originally.
You've been a citizen of the United States for
about 3-4 years now.
About 3 years now. Congratulations, and we appreciate brothers like you who not only have the training and intelligence, but the good consciousness of mind. You went through something that people will hear about, but you went through something that would have tested a lot of people. And in my line of work, I've seen a lot of people suffer serious consequences by reacting negatively to the situation that you went through. But you were telling us what happened the other morning, yesterday morning.
Well, yesterday morning I was driving home from hanging out with friends, and then I was so I had an encounter with an individual who was out to pretty much attack me. Basically, started by slamming my car, and then.
And I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna put on my lawyer hat for a second. I typically don't let clients sort of go through all the facts, but you were going out, and you saw a cyclist in the road. You tapped on your horn to tell him to get out of the road.
Let me have a way.
Yeah, he turned around, reacted negatively. In order to avoid confrontation, you drove around him. You took a bicycle lock and he slammed against your car. Mm-hmm. It caused any damage to the car?
Yes, it was damage to the paint. Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
So you pulled aside, go check out the damage.
Yeah, exactly.
And he approaches you.
Then he started calling me the N-words as he approaches me.
Okay. You don't have to be that sanitized with us here. He started calling you a nigger.
Yeah, he called me nigger, pretty much. He's like, you stupid nigger, you are nothing, you nigger.
Okay. And he just kept repeating that word.
He kept repeating that word. He kept.
I'm curious. I haven't asked you this. How big was he?
He was probably 5'10".
Okay.
He was a little guy. I mean, I'm telling you frankly, if I wasn't restraining myself.
Okay, we won't don't say that. Nah.
But I definitely have to say that he was a big guy. Yeah.
Wasn't huge, wasn't small, but you stand 6'4".
Yeah, 6'4", 260 pounds. Yeah.
And so this guy is aggressively coming up to you. He's calling you the N-word, calling you outside of your name.
Yes.
You've already called the police at this point.
Yes. As soon as I think I did what I was supposed to do. Somebody vandalized my car. The first thing I do is you got to call the police.
Okay.
Yes, this is like what I did. I got out to look at the damage was made to my car, and I called the police right away.
He doesn't stop at hitting your car. He then strikes you with a lot.
Exactly.
Hits you on top of the head. Splits it open.
Yes.
Now I've been around someone who had their head split open before. Actually in the classroom. Blood was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Was that the situation?
Yes, blood everywhere. Blood everywhere on my shirt.
Pouring out your head.
Yeah, pouring out my head. I mean, at that time you ask yourself, are you going to die? Because you just don't know.
Right. With that amount of blood.
Yeah, you got blood come in your head. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so at that point, was it over? He hit you on the head and ran away, or
no? He hit me in my head. He was still there. So because the police was not there, it was not coming. I guess once he realized that he hit me in the head, he was trying to run away, and I didn't hold him, but I was holding his bike. I'm saying you're not gonna go, at least so.
And you were able to hold his bike there and keep him from leaving.
Keep him from leaving. So when I was holding his bike, at times he left his bike and trying to go around my car so he can get inside my car and drive off with my car, and it just, I just didn't let him do it.
Was this man arrested?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know if he was charged with a crime?
He was charged, because I received a police report, he was charged with assault with a dangerous weapon.
Okay.
And vandalizing, something with vandalism.
Property vandalism?
Vandalism, yeah.
Okay. So he's charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. For vandalism...
They didn't say deadly weapon. I wish they would have said deadly weapon.
Okay.
Yes, because that could have been... He hit the back of my head. He could have hit my eyes.
Yeah.
You could have hit a part of my body that was sensitive, and I could die.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, from blood alone, you could have bled out. But
exactly.
My question is, they charged him with a hate crime.
They have not charged. I don't think they charged him with a hate crime. Did you?
Yeah. No. They haven't, to my knowledge, but I heard that they were investigating hate crime.
Yes.
And then, hate crimes apply when the assault is racially motivated.
Right.
So, in your opinion, was he racially motivated? Was his aggression towards racially?
Okay, before I finish this interview, what you're watching this is attorney Lee Merritt. Lee Merritt is this guy's attorney, the victim that been attacked by a white guy who using a lock to hit him in the back of his head, tried to prevent him from running. So that's Paho. It was the victim. He's the man on the right. And Lee Merritt is the guy that on the left who's an attorney, and he's the one doing the interview. So I'm just letting everybody else know who's that interview. So I'm continuing finish the interview and then finish the rest of my commentary.
How could you tell?
I could tell by the way he kept repeating the word nigger. Nigger, you stupid nigger. Yeah.
So he was mad at you not because you honked at him, not because you pulled over your car, but because you were a black man.
Yeah.
And he decided that he could attack you because you were a black man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And I emphasize that for no other reason than we're in D.C. this week, and at the end of this week we have the Unite the Right rally here in D.C. The government has dedicated several trains to the Klan and to white supremacist organizations to help them with their egress and ingress into the downtown metropolitan area. It's something similar to what we saw last year in Charlottesville, where countless people were violently attacked by white supremacists, where Sister Heather Heyer lost her life, where my client DeAndre Harris suffered actually a similar injury to yours, where he had to get several staples in his head after a violent assault. And it looks like we're headed toward a repeat of last year. First, I want to commend you, because the main argument that we heard from 45, the guy occupying Pennsylvania Ave right now, the main argument we heard was that, there were bad people and there were good people on both sides. If you would have decided, and I hear a lot of people righteously so saying, man, you should have just handled him yourself. You should have just put hands on him yourself. Why don't you just put hands on yourself? Yeah,
because that's how you get tested. Yeah, that's how I'm going to call it. The enemy tests you. You have to understand that this is how you're going to get tested. I'm just saying to any brothers that can be listening to me, this is how you're going to get tested. And if you fall into the trap, then you're going to end up being the one paying for the consequences. I restrained myself because I thought about it. I thought about it at the moment. I had thought about it, and something that I've thought about before is this is what happened. You will get tested. And I feel like there's a bigger gain in him going to jail for me than one punch in the face, one knockout punch, and then end the story. And then maybe I potentially go to jail and I lose my job and I have a daughter. So that's the concern.
Absolutely. So the bigger game in the United States is, as an African American male, you almost have to be superhuman.
Exactly.
You got to control those emotions, because the consequence for you could have been deadly.
Yes.
Law enforcement shows up and sees a 6'4", 260-pound black guy beating up a white guy.
Exactly.
Who's to say they're not justified in the use of deadly force in that situation?
Exactly.
Or to take you to jail and prosecute you, or maybe the narrative changes. That there was bad guys on both sides. You see what the other guy looked like and ignore the gaping injury to your head. It shouldn't be that way, but it is.
It is.
And then now it's our responsibility as a community to make sure that we get actual justice. So to the extent that you couldn't take justice into your own hands, we demand hate crime charges. We demand a severe penalty for him. And more importantly, and this is the reason me and the brother decided to get on here today, we demand a reaction out of the people of D.C., out of the government officials in the D.C. area, that they need to take steps starting today to ensure that this doesn't happen. This group of people, and I don't know that this guy was associated with the hate groups that are coming, but his language was consistent with them. His behavior was consistent with those groups, and there has to be extraordinary steps taken to protect the people of the D.C. metro area and people who will be traveling to the nation's capital. They don't have the excuse in Charlottesville that they were caught off guard. Number one, Charlottesville happened last year, so we know the propensity for violence for these groups. And then, unfortunately, with your incident yesterday morning, we know that they're gearing up for this kind of thing. So we're encouraging you all out there, share this video, contact your local representatives, contact your senators, your congressmen, let them know that they need to clamp down on this Unite the Right rally. I would love to see it canceled.
I would actually love to see it canceled.
In the United States, you do get freedom of speech and freedom of assembly, but that freedom cannot infringe on other people's rights, like yours, to walk the streets. It cannot. You have the right to peacefully assemble, and there is nothing about the pattern of their behavior that has been proven to be peaceful and safe. And so I believe that the government is well within their rights to shut down this rally before we get started. Amen. I pray that you all take some action to invest yourself in Brother Ketch's case, to ensure that Maxim Smith is the assailant's name, that he suffers the maximum penalty, not only convictions for the crimes that he has had, and kudos to the police officials now. He has been given no bond. That means he's still in jail to this day. And we want to see those charges ramped up to hate crime charges. We want to see him spend some time behind bars. We're still looking for Redbeard, who attacked my client DeAndre Harris last year. You have any information on that? We have a $100,000 reward to track him down. And we pray that you all stay invested. Brother, I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you too,
Look
brother.
forward to working for you.
Thank you very much for flying in and that. Thank you.
Okay, people, there you have it. That's Lee Merritt. Lee Merritt, who's an attorney for Katchazo Paho, who's a victim of a racial attack here in D.C. And it's also they explain about the Unite the Right rally here in DMV. Just to let everybody else know, here in the DMV, we are under a state of emergency due to what's going on in the next 2 days. Obviously, this Sunday coming up is the official Unite the Right rally here in D.C. Now, at first, I did an earlier story about this. And at first, Metro, the Metro is dealing with our transit here, which is the subways and the buses here. At first, they want to have a separate train only for the white supremacists to go in and out downtown on Lafayette Park, which is across from the Washington Monument. They was going to do that, but other people said no, they're not going to do that. So, because the reason is because, again, and I agree with this, it was wasting the taxpayers' money, and obviously that they didn't do that to any other rally that was here. So that's a no-no. So my point is that people, we have to look up and face reality that this is happening. Because it's happened here in D.C. Now, unfortunately, again, like I told each and everyone before, that everybody who's not living in the D.C. area like myself, that the situation is, the governor of Virginia has already offered a state of emergency in his state. So right now, we're obviously, literally, in a state of emergency here in the D.C. area until this thing is over with, because obviously that we're dealing with white supremacists and white nationalists are here for this a 1 year anniversary of what happened last year in Charlottesville. And this, if it happens to this brother right here, it's going to happen to anybody else here that lives in the DC area. Now, again, I hope that now the DC police, the mayor, Browner, who's the thing of it is, seriously, if they serious about this, they need to wrap up what's going on. They need to have the National Guard on standby, because I'm telling you guys, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get really ugly here. And you think Charlottesville is bad, this is worse, because you got it. Not just because. Not only you have to deal with people here in the DC, here in DC, and the residents here, but you also have to deal with other people across the country that are counter protesters who's flying in to join with the DC residents along with other white supremacists. But here it's going to get ugly because, again, there's no, and people are going to say, well, we're prepared for this and all of this, but realistically, obviously, I hope they are prepared. I hope we're never going to see another Charlottesville. But I'm afraid, I'm very concerned it's going to happen again, because we're going to have so many people to get. You have one group, which is the white supremacists, and you have counter protesters. There's going to be a lot of counter protesters now, a lot more, I heard. That's more than what happened in Charlottesville. There's going to be a lot of Antifa. There's going to be a lot of Black Lives Matter. Everybody's going to be there this Sunday. So it's going to be a biggest mess ever. And the thing of it is that we just hope that they stay peaceful, but I highly doubt that, because like I said, once they get together, we don't even know what's going to happen. All I can say is I hope it's not going to be a riot here in the D.C. area. Pray that's not going to be a riot here. I hope nothing's happening around the city, but again, this is not good. This is really, really not good, people. And I hope that Mr. Paho here will seek justice to get. I mean, luckily the guy who attacked him didn't get bail at all. He's still in jail. And so hopefully that Paho and his attorney, Lee Merritt, will finally get justice. Now remember, Lee Merritt is the same guy that did DeAndre, I forgot his last name, DeAndre, the guy that was been attacked in Charlottesville. He was the same attorney that represented him. So hopefully we will hear something soon. And all I ask is, guys around the world, pray for us here in the D.C. area. We have peace with this situation, because obviously this is going to turn out to be even ugly come Sunday. Well, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this story. Share this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my reaction channel. And subscribe to my Black Junction channel for all the news and commentary. With that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.